Hello, hello, guys! And we all hear me. Oh, pause that. Hello, hello, guys. How are we doing today? Can I hear a how? Sound is good. Sound is good. Sound is life. So, welcome to another wonderful episode of Adastra with your host, Fallen Wolf. Oh! So, it's good to be back. It is good to have it's great in fact. It's great to finally get back to another wonderful live stream. Especially with Adastra. I really enjoyed this game last time I played it, and I'm looking forward to playing some more. Um, some quick little nitbits, and then we'll get right into the good stuff that we came here to see. Not me, of course, but Amicus, among other people that we have not seen yet. So, long story short, if you have not seen my previous videos before, welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy your stay. We are a great loving pack, as long as you know who's the boss, which is me. I'm the boss, me. Um, no, I'm just kidding. We're all the boss here. Um, but as I said, if you have not seen my channel before, welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see, and even if you decide not to stay or subscribe, thank you for taking the time to even stop by the channel and give it a view. Um, if you do not know, we are playing, like I said, if you do not know by the title, we are playing Adastra. This will be. I'm going to try to shoot for about 2 hours. I don't think that's too short, but I don't think that's too long either. Last time I played this, I had a lot of fun with it. A lot of stuff happened. Started off kind of normal and very quickly spiraled into interspecies conflict, sort of. Um, which was interesting. But if you can't, also if you've not seen my previous video that I posted, as you can see, I have a new mic, which I am so happy for. I love it. I love finally having a mic. It makes me feel like a professional. I am so happy to have a new mic. It really does make me feel like a professional, and I hope with this new mic that I can venture forth into more interesting voice acting, into more serious voiceover work. Um, Hopefully, by serious voiceover work, I mean some rather minor. I read some somewhat minor stuff like little fan things, animations and whatnot. But anyway, I think I've talked long enough. I think we should start. And last time we left off, we spent our first night in the palace. So I believe. Hopefully it was this one. I have a few more save files. I did play a slight bit of this, about 20 minutes, just to test the mic out, which came out pretty well. Wait, I don't. I think we might have loaded the wrong save. Hold on. Hold on. No, I don't want to write. I want to load. Here we go. Okay. The dream I have is strange. I'm in a black void of some kind, and despite the emptiness, I have some sort of purpose. I don't know what that is, but I'm being driven towards it. It's not a good dream, it's a borderline nightmare. The empty void isn't the scary part, though. It's the feeling that I'm being watched by someone or something. It's the feeling that I have no say in where I'm going. No choice at all. I'm very curious about you. What? I'm limited in what I can ask, but I'll start with this. What is death to you? Okay, that is a. All right, Gabe. All right, Gabe. You can't do this to me. You can't. You can't. I can't be all happy and stuff, and then you just come in with what is death to me? And I have two horrible options. We have infinity, or we have oblivion. Now this one I'm not even gonna ask you guys because we're gonna do both of them. I'm not sure what the difference is in them, but we are gonna do. We're gonna try attempt both. But I mean, gosh, game, can I get a break? Can I breathe? I just start the game and it's like, what is death to you? And I'm like, okay, I just wanted to have a fun time with Amicus. That's all I'm here for. All I'm here for is some lovely slightly buff wolf aliens. Okay. So I'm going to choose Affinity first because it's the first option. And also, guys, if you notice any audio issues or even mic issues, please let me know. I can try to adjust things and make it a little better. I currently do not have a filter, so I know things might not be perfect, but that's something that will definitely be will be bought within the next week or two. All right, so we'll go with Affinity. Very interesting. That's all you had to say? Okay, let's go back. Okay. We'll go back. Oblivion? I see. Oh, this isn't really much of a choice. Feels like a wasted choice. Nothing really happens. So I'm gonna stick with what I said. It doesn't really matter apparently what I choose. Sometime just before I fully wake up, I hear something moving around behind me, followed by a mumbled voice, then a soft padding sound that fades out after a few moments. I wonder if one of my flatmates just arrived and looked into my room for some reason. As I shift around, I found out how weirdly firm the bed I'm lying on is. My bed was softer than this when I got into it, and where are the sheets? Oh, it wasn't a dream! We are still here. It wasn't a dream. I should probably save the game just in case something happens. I get really iffy on making multiple saves. I don't know. I don't really say I don't know why I get the feeling that the choice doesn't really matter. Um, I don't really think it matters. Being honest, that didn't seem like a choice that really mattered that much. I open my eyes and see a red, velvety surface in front of me. Yes, I did hear that somewhat, Asumi, that this game doesn't really have that many choices, which is somewhat disappointing. I mean, I can understand when you explain it the way you are. I can kind of understand that, but I'm also still a little disappointed because I still haven't really got into Echo, but from what I've seen in Echo, the routes are vastly different. That's another game. I can't wait. I can't wait to get into that game, guys. I can't wait. I'm also scared because everybody just keeps saying it's dark. We're just warning you. It's dark, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. I haven't cried in a visual novel. No, 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 not true. Not true. Katawa Soji. I'm not sure if you guys heard about that. That's a pretty famous one. I actually did get a little like I didn't cry. I got teary eyed, but I didn't cry. With that game, with one of the people I met. I kind of thought about playing that game on stream, even though I'm not good at girl voices. But I still want to try it. I still want to try it. I still want to play that game. It was a very emotional game. Then I turn over and see an unfamiliar ceiling with a gold square pattern above me. Oh yeah. I look over toward the bed where I expect to see Amicus, but it's empty. I stare again at the ceiling for a while, letting the sudden realization that I'm still here wash over me. I go over everything that happened yesterday, the last shred of hope that I'd been dreaming fading from my mind. I look over at Amicus's bed again, wondering if he had gone into the bathroom. I listen for a while, but I don't hear anything coming from the door across from the bed. There's a muffled sound of what I assume are birds chirping coming from behind the curtain. Slowly, I slide off the sofa, feeling the cold marble against my bare feet as I do. Neko Juicy, am I um, Neko Juicy, it was weird. I didn't really cry during that whole game, but when I did the NSFW path, I read it out loud, and I actually did start. I don't know. It's like maybe because I was getting so emotional, because I really do get emotional when I do voice acting stuff, and I was starting to get really emotional, like especially when something's coming up. Speaking of, that game is gonna be the next live stream. I gotta find a date to do it. I was thinking possibly tomorrow. I can't guarantee it though, but I will try for tomorrow. I'm gonna do the entire route, but it's gonna be the NSFW one. And don't worry, I will make sure I have a little filter in case stuff like that comes up. I sort of remember where when it happens, so I'll most likely be pretty safe. But after that, we're done. Well, no. After that, we'll do the DLC, and then we're done with that game. So 2 more streams for that game, and then we're done. Besides that, Lagoon Lounge we're getting pretty close to finishing too. Lagoon Lounge is getting pretty close to being finished as well. So I need more. I need more games for you guys to give me. Come on, guys, share your ideas with me. Any game is welcome. Any visual novel game is welcome. Any non-furry visual novel game is welcome. It doesn't even have to be yaoi. It can be just normal. I'm just very interested. Just something good that's long, but not gonna be like overly long. Oh, hello there, unknown Hal. Can everybody give him a warm welcome? Give everybody a warm welcome to unknown Hal. But yeah, so that's the plan for right now. Lagoon Lounge is almost done. Neko Jissi is pretty close to being finished. Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. I almost forgot about that. Extracurricular activities. There we go. That's one game that is that game. I'm trying to think when I can do it. It's getting a little difficult. As I said, I'm really sorry to people that enjoyed that game because I know a lot of people were really so happy when I started playing that game, and I really love it. It's just like the only thing I just want to finish some of the games I already have. Extracurricular activity is gonna be a long game. That's gonna be a long game. Um, I will try for this week. I can't make promises. Definitely by next week. Definitely by next week, I will have another stream of that game. Um, as I said before in previous episodes, I'm working 2 jobs now, and I'm so tired. I'm so tired, and it makes it so it just. But yeah, I've been getting so tired, and by the time I get done, I'm like I need to go to bed for my next job. But Paws and Steel. Is that our game? Is that a visual novel game? I'll look into that later. Paws and Steel. Remind me later, guys, about that before the end of the stream if you can. If not, I'll probably look up back in the chat, because I'll have to do some editing for this anyway, with the screen cap or not. But let's keep going. I shiver and decide to bring the blanket with me, wrapping it around my shoulders. I shuffle around the sofa and move to the side. Ooh, I'm glad somebody mentioned that. Password looked great. I'm gonna be 100% honest. When I saw the art, I was like, it's not terrible, but it's not great artwork. And then I saw a little bit of the gameplay, and I was like, wow. I was like, this game looks really interesting. And then I was really hooked on it. I was like, now I really want to play this game. Chester. I know. We'll get to them. Like I said, we're gonna definitely first. Like I said, we're doing Spencer. Then the next round, I'm gonna let you guys vote for. I'm gonna actually, you guys will get to vote on my Twitter. Ocean Blues. I don't know what that is. There's so many. There's so many games, guys. You're killing me. I can't breathe. So, like I said, we'll get as far as we can with Spencer first, and then the next route you'll vote for. It's gonna probably be on my Twitter. So if you guys aren't following it, please follow my Twitter for updates and other fun little things. I shuffle around the sofa and move to the side of the large curtain to pull it back just slightly. The air that comes through is fresh and immediately reminds me of camping by a lake during summer camp. Oh my gosh, this looks this looks beautiful. Oh, this looks so beautiful. This looks so beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. This is somewhere I could sit at and stare at all day. This is a gorgeous view. vista. Oh, this looks beautiful. Voting for it probably won't be right now, but the vote is going to be for the next route I'll do in extracurricular. The next vote I will do for extracurricular activities. That's gonna it's a vote for to see who I'm gonna do next. Like I said, I'm Spencer's first, but after I get as far as I can with him, then we'll move on to somebody else. Prequel to Paws. Okay, I will take a look at that. I will take a look at that, Snake Lord. Thank you for letting me know. I'll take a look at both of those games: Ocean Blue, Paws and Steel, and Password. I'll take a look at. Man, you guys are gonna make me broke. Because I already said I'm gonna have to start donating some of these things. Um, with the new job, I have a little extra money. I don't think $1 or $3 a month is gonna kill me. I spend more for Netflix, which is going to end soon because Netflix is actually getting pretty bad on quality and charging more money for it. So that would make sense because ahead of me is what looks like a massive body of water that seems to come right up to the edge of the balcony. It's warm, but not nearly as humid as it was last night. Pink and orange light paints the clouds on the horizon, and for a moment I take in the sight. The hills and mountains to either side of the lake are covered in lush green trees. So is the little island a ways out to my left. In the distance on the other side of the lake is what looks like a city of some kind. It's hard to tell how big it is since it's a good ways away, but from what I can tell the buildings are massive, and the smaller structures that taper off to the side seem to stretch far off behind them. Dim lights from windows glitter in the distance, and I wonder if that city is full of wolves like Amicus and Cassius. Despite my situation, I kinda want to go see it. As I watch, I see a small, dark, oval shape descend down toward the city, blinking blue and red lights. Oh, is it a police ship? I have to smile and shake my head a little. I still want to go back to Earth, but this is undeniably amazing. I let the curtain slide shut finally and turn back to the room. So where did that big wolf go to? He could have at least told me before it ran off. Good morning, Mark. I jump as the computer's voice crackles overhead. I clutch my chest, breathing hard as the voice continues. Amicus has a message for you. There's a pause, then. Hey, Mark, I'm going to my morning meditation. It's in a room just down the hall, and I'll be back in approximately an hour. Why don't you take the time to get familiar with the room? There's a pause, then. Are you still recording, Com? Yes, to end recording, say end of message. Oh, see you soon, Mark. End message. Is it still? To end recording, say end of message. My gods, end of message! I hear Amicus starting to curse again before the message cuts off. Oh, I don't mind giving you guys the smexy barras. Um, I am perfectly fine doing that. I love playing these games, and like I said, I will be completely honest when I give reviews on the games. Like I'll be honest. I'll say if I like something. I'll say if I think something could be done better. I'll be honest with them. I'll be 100% honest with them, because constructive criticism I think is always a good thing. Constructive criticism, not just criticizing to criticize. I look around the room a bit, noticing how little there is to get familiar with. I could look through the dresser, but I assume that's mostly filled with Amicus's things, and I doubt he wants me to get familiar with those. I move across the room towards the bathroom door, standing in front of it for a moment before studying the black panel in the middle of it. It's similar to what Amicus used to open the door in the hallway. I reach out to try and push it, and the moment my fingers brush against the surface, the door slides to the side so fast that I jump. Oh, it's a shower. The lights inside come on, slowly illuminating the interior. I poke my head inside, then quickly step in, imagining the sliding door suddenly closing and chopping my head off. I have several questions. That's really morbid. Why are you being so morbid? Oh, no, Hal, are you leaving us? All right, unknown Hal. Well, take it easy if you're leaving. I hope you enjoyed what you see. I hope you enjoyed what you see. I hope you have a wonderful night. Mwah! Hope you have a wonderful night. It stays open until I'm halfway in the room, then it closes automatically. There's a large sink to my left and an even larger mirror above it. In the corner, there's a marble-looking bench with a hole that I can only assume is a toilet. Finally, across from that is a large bath and what I imagine to be the shower. I actually really need to pee, so I head over to the bench and doing my business down the hole, hoping that it's not something like a laundry chute and I'm pissing on the servants below. That is terrible. Oh my gosh, could you imagine that? they're like, why have the gods betrayed us? Why? No. Oh, it's terrible. As soon as I start, though, water begins to pour down the sides of the tube, leaving me pretty sure that it is indeed a toilet. I guess I should be more confident in assuming things about this place. Everything is fairly simple to what I had on Earth. I walk over to the sink and push at the faucet. Then I stick my hand under it and water starts pouring out. I'm tempted to take a drink, but then I notice the water is bubbly and soapy looking. Having nothing left to do in the bathroom, I turn back to the door and find the black square again. I reach for it, and just like before, the door slides open. Oh! Oh, oh boy. Cassius. Oh boy. If he thinks he's going to get away with it. Cassius is facing away from me, his arms folded as his bushy white tail swishes from side to side. I freeze up, staring at him wide-eyed. I have plenty of time to jump to the side, maybe hide in the shower area, but I just stand there like an idiot as the wolf turns around almost in slow motion. Oh, he saw us. He freezes just like I did when he spots me standing in the doorway. We stare at each other for a moment, for a very long moment. Then he screeches, making me jump back in shock. Oh, God's earpod! What is it? The wolf dodges back and forth as if expecting me to try and run him. I'm sorry, this looks kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. Kato, help! Come quick! Finally, Cassius' little dance of terror ends with him sprinting to my left and out of the room. I stand there for a moment, listening to his screams fade down the echoing hallway while wondering if I should hide or something. Maybe go back into the bathroom and try to lock it? Instead, I hear more thudding, someone running up the hallway from the other end. Oh, fuck it. Amicus. Now, Amicus, now you show up. Thank you for leaving me all alone. Thank you for leaving me, your poor slave, all alone. Oh. Then Amicus comes running into the room, sliding to a stop in the middle of it. He spins in a circle, then spots me and runs up to me. Oof. Oh, I have to know what Cassius is like. A lot of people do not seem to like Cassius. I don't know how he is. He seems like he's kind of like, he seems like he's like upper class. But besides that, I don't really know what to make of him so far. But oof. What happened? Cassius came in and saw me. You let him see you? What? No, he just came in. Where were you? Meditating. I left a message. Where did he go? Cassius, he just ran off. Damn it! Amicus stands there, his tail thrashing back and forth. I glare at him. If you hadn't just left me here, this wouldn't have happened. Cassius shouldn't have even come in here. Amicus turns away and starts pacing back and forth. What are you doing? Shh, I'm thinking. I bristle a little at being shushed, but I stay quiet, watching the wolf stalk back and forth. Then I hear voices again. Cassius is along with another deeper voice. Oh boy. Amicus turns to me. Just be quiet for a moment as I try to explain things, understand? I glare at Amicus. His ears flatten as his expression becomes a bit more desperate. Aw, please? I still don't say anything, but give him a curt nod. Amicus reaches out toward my shoulder, then pauses and instead offers his paw to me. I take it and he gently pulls me from the bathroom to stand next to him in the middle of the room, facing the open doorway to the hall. Amicus fixes a confident smile on his face, though I can feel how tense he is next to me. From around the corner comes Cassius, but he's hiding behind someone else. Another wolf? Oh, hello there. Hello, who are you? Hello there, long, very tan, and and beautifully muscular. I mean, this guy looks a lot more muscular than even Amicus. Who is this guy? Is this guy a romantic? Is this guy a romance option? Because as much as I love Amicus, I might have to still be single. They both stop in the doorway as the larger wolf takes in both Amicus and I. Amicus, what are you doing with it? Step away! Amicus gently places his paws around my shoulders, drawing me in against his bulk. Cassius's eyes widen at that, though the wolf next to him seems to have no reaction. Then again, that could just be because I can't see his eyes. What are you doing, Amicus? Amicus clears his throat. Cassius, Cato. He nods to each of them in turn. This is my pet, Mark. You know, I also forgot to mention... Well, I don't need this right now. But let's just say that for certain scenes, now I downloaded a crap ton of music, but this is not for that. That's saved for if something happens later. Cassius's mouth falls open. The other wolf, Cato, seems to shift a bit at that. Silence drags out. Then Cato shifts again. Okay, I have to think about what this guy's voice. Is this where you were the past 2 days, Amicus? Amicus' arm tightens a bit around my shoulders, drawing me in closer. Yes. And that's where you took your father's ship. A slight pause. Yes? Cassius gasps. He can't do that! He glances at Cato. Can he? The bigger wolf is quiet, and even though I can't see his eyes, I get the feeling that he's watching me closely. Cassius turns his glare back on Amicus. Where did it come from? Amicus rubs my arm. He came from far away. Is he a child? Yes. What? He can't just take someone else's child? Can he? Cassius, I don't know if you have this on your planet, but you can. It's called kidnapping. It's illegal. I'm pretty sure even for interspecies, it's still illegal. So yes, there's such a thing, but it's not legal. Again, Cassius looks at Cato. Don't get me wrong, guys. I love Amicus, but I'm still a little heated about that. He's just like, it just comes away and whisks on his spaceship. It's like, that sounds lovely as a fantasy, and then you're like, but you kidnapped me from my planet, and you told me there's currently no way to get off of your planet, so I'm stuck here. I'm stuck here on a planet that I don't know anything about, and is, while sort of similar to our planet, vastly different from my planet. So, I'm not too happy right now. Not too happy at all. Again, Cassius looks at Cato. And once again, Cato is quiet, then he finally sighs. We will discuss this over breakfast, Amicus. Get dressed and bring the creature with you, as long as he's safe. Of course. Then we will continue the conversation there. With that, Cato turns on his heel and walks out of the room, leaving Cassius to look after him with a gaping mouth. He turns back on us, snarling. I don't know what you're planning with that thing, Amicus, but if I know you, it's going to be incredibly stupid. He takes another second to look at me with unmistakable disgust. What did I do to you? What did I do to you, Cassius? Aw, okay, so yeah, Sumi. Dang, everybody has to leave. Woo. That's okay. I hope you enjoyed too, Asami. I keep it Sumi. Asami, I hope you enjoyed. Have a good night. Mwah, love you. You could have at least obtained one that isn't quite so ugly, you know. Leave, Cassius, and don't think about snooping around in my room again. Understood. Cassius doesn't respond and simply walks away, looking over his shoulder just before he leaves. And expect to receive punishment for Cato for stealing father's ship. Absolutely outrageous! I watch Cassius's tail switch out of sight behind the doorway. Amicus lets out a huge sigh and I feel his chest deflating against my shoulder. Damn it! I sigh as well. You really didn't think all of this through, did you? I slowly move out from under the wolf's heavy arm. Like I said, I made many mistakes. I'm just tired of lying now. You still told him that I'm a child. Amicus brings a paw abruptly up to his mouth, touching the pads of his fingers to his lips. It might not be a shushing gesture that I'm familiar with, but I know what it means. Amicus listens, his ears straight up and eyes looking up at the ceiling. Finally, he looks back at me, whispering. Oof. Oof, we are getting some... oof. I'm guessing you don't like Cassius, Snake. That is something I can never tell them the truth about, and it would be best if you never mention it again. Please. His suddenly serious demeanor cools my mood a little, so I just sigh again and sit on the edge of his bed. Amicus stands there awkwardly for a moment, then quickly moves over to the open door, placing a paw to the square to close it. He moves back over to me, his voice still lowered. Well, if we're going to pass you off as a pet, then I should probably get you familiar with your duties. My duties? I raise an eyebrow at Amicus. Amicus, what kind of duties are we talking about here? We're talking about hard duties, soft duties, easy duties. You know, you gotta give me a little more information, buddy. Pal of mine. Amicus sighs. I understand your frustration, but we need to do this right if we want things to go as smoothly as possible. You don't have to do anything, but it will help you blend in better. I roll my eyes and lean back with my hands, looking up at Amicus. Alright, what do I do? Well, first of all, I take my shower and... You help me wash. Oh, Amicus, when did we get started? You seem like you're dirty already. Let's go take a shower. Come on, let's go. Help you wash? See, even the MC is excited. He's like, help you. He's like, help you wash. He's like, well, buddy, old pal of mine, why didn't you just say so? Let's go. A strong, hardworking guy like you needs a nice, good scrubbing. A nice scrubbing with nice, tender, and loving fingers. Yes, you would soap my fur and such. We stare at each other for a moment. Amicus! How are you doing, buddy, pal? You know, this isn't what it looks like. I'm just, I'm just telling the guys how much you like taking your showers, you know, and I'm here as your good, devoted friend to help you out. That's all. It's nothing strange, nothing weird, nothing gay about it. Just trying to be a good pal, a good friend of yours. I'm gonna get punished, ain't I? It's something that the others wouldn't see, so I suppose it's not necessary. Unless you want to. No. Oh, guys! No! But I was ready. But I was so ready. It's okay, Amicus. I'll do it for you. I'll be... It's okay. You can kidnap me. I'll take good care of you. You know? Because you're such a hardworking guy. Those big muscles, I'm sure, are pretty sore after a good workout, you know? Alright. Well, alright then. Never mind on that one. Oh, you can't... How dare you, Snake Lord? How dare you attack me like that? I'm hurt. How dare you attack me like that? You know, I'm actually... What punishment? I was only kidding. You know, I wouldn't like this big, strong guy to punish me in any way. I mean, he's not even that good looking anyway. I'm so sorry, Amicus. I will make it up to you later. Amicus is clearly offended. Listen, I'm not going to soap up your naked body. Mark, Let me rephrase that. Myself, if you don't change your mind real quick, I'm gonna come into that virtual world and beat you. I'm going to beat you until you say yes. I will soap up that naked body. No, Snake Lord, come on. I'm joking. I'm being sarcastic. I'm kidding. I know you're not attacking me. You've been a very good friend and supporter, so I know you're not personally attacking me. Oh, sorry. Listen, I'm not gonna soap. Also, can you hear the music okay, guys? I only turned it down a little bit. I feel like I can barely hear it. I'm gonna turn up a little bit. There we go. Because this music in this game was a little weird last time, like all the sound effects and stuff. So, yeah, you made that clear. Anyway, I'd honestly rather skip the shower today, but spending all of that time in the spaceship has left me rather unkempt. Amicus turns to the bathroom and opens the door. You should at least come into the bathroom while I shower in case Cassius decides to barge in again. You can stare at the wall or something. Amicus stalks into the bathroom and I have to smile as I follow him in, the door closing quietly behind me. Amicus notices me smirking. What? I shrug. Nothing, just kind of funny that you got so huffy. I don't know what that means. Amicus is adjusting his underwear, then it suddenly drops and I quickly look away. Aw. I suppose your people prefer modesty? Out of the corner of my eye, I can tell that Amicus has a smirk on a smirk of his own. Around others, at least, and you guys don't just walk around naked, so don't you prefer modesty too? It all depends on the time and place. I know, right? I know. We'd rather watch him shower. Like, this is the perfect moment to have a shower scene. Like, no. Perfect moment to have a shower scene, and they drop the ball. Amicus, but you know what? I give him credit for that because I've played enough visual novel games where we're literally you play in 10 minutes in, and 10 minutes in it's like, oh, there's a nude shot. It's like, all right. It's like, guys, why don't you not even try to have a story? Just shove the nudity at us. Amicus moves into the shower, and for the next 10 minutes or so, I sit on the counter while the room fills with steam. Once the water shuts off, a loud fan starts up, and I glance over to see Amicus with his arms out, his fur blowing back and forth. He notices me look over, then look away again. You know, he has to almost shout over the fan. You could have cleaned up too if you'd showered with me, but you won't have time with breakfast coming up. You'll have to do it after. I shrug and wait as Amicus steps out and grabs clean undergarments hanging from a hook, which he spends the next minute tying on. Yeah, that's how I feel. I know I get very naughty, but in all seriousness, I would prefer to date somebody. My golden rule, which is probably not that much. My golden rule usually is 3. I feel like 3 is the magic number. If you dated 3 times and the person's still talking to you, then it's time to maybe think about doing the naughty. But at least 3 dates. All right, balls are gone. You can look now. Oh, they actually call them. Oh, okay. I guess they call them the same thing that humans do. Actually, do you even have those? I don't want to assume. Open the door and head back out. Guess you'll never know. Dude, MC, you being Amicus and the MC are being such teases right now. I'm like, we're sitting here hungry, like, oh, I'm so hungry and thirsty. Just a little bit of water or milk, and they're just dangling it in front of us, like we're like, just dangling it from like, yeah. Look, I know you want this, but you're not gonna get it. Amicus spends another minute in the bathroom, opening a door under the sink and ruffling around in it. The next thing you're supposed to do is get the brush and oils from here. He lifts up a brush and a few glass bottles. Listen. Snake, I'm not a bitch, But in this case, in Amicus's case, I will be the little bitch. In this case, I will be. He lifts up a brush and a few glass bottles with colorful liquids inside before coming over to stand in front of me. He sighs. I know you don't want to, and I realize now that I'm repulsive to you, but I can't really reach every part of my code, and it would be strange if I called for a drone when I have a pet. I think about making another moody remark, but the expression on his face makes me pause. I suppose I am being a little bratty right now. Besides, what else am I going to do while I'm here? Sit on the sofa all day? I get up and take the brush from Amicus, and I see a surprised smile on his face. Thank you, Mark. He shows me how to apply one of the liquids, a honey-colored one, to the brush. It's a treatment for my fur. It keeps it soft and voluminous looking. Here, you just take the brush and run it with the lay of my fur. He hands the brush to me and then stands facing away. I start slowly and run the brush through the fur between his ears and down his broad back, watching as the slightly disabled hairs line up and lay down smoothly. I know, right? It's like, excuse me? It's like, excuse me, you what, mate? It's like, need a good popping in the kisser, don't you know? I don't. Oh my gosh! I don't. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't even know what that accent. I don't even know what that accent was. I'm so sorry. Oh, but All right, I think somebody's getting a little into this too much. Snake Lord, do I have to stop the stream? Am I gonna have to worry about you? Am I gonna have to worry about you being addicted? Because if I didn't tell you guys before, I actually have been getting recently pretty heavily addicted to furry stuff, mainly B-stars. Because help me, Lugosi is a fine-looking guy, a fine-looking lad, and he's so humble. It's just like, oh, it's like, Lugosi, you can't do this to me. You can't do this to me. Lugosi is oh. I can't help it, but oh man, I tell you, when I talk about Lugosi, I'm just like, but it also just that game, that show, that anime is amazing. I love it so much. Me and my friend usually catch every new episode, like every week we're watching the next episode. I love it so much. I haven't read the manga because I don't want to ruin anything. I want to literally be surprised now. I'm like, it's so good. Oh, extra credit. Oh yeah, well, you're already doomed. You're already cursed. It's too late for it's too late for you. I love you, Snake Lord. I'm happy with the little bit of time you have left, but eventually, I know that's gonna take you over because it did for me. Trust me, it did it pretty hard. Pretty freaking hard, and I was. Ooh, it was hard for me, especially with Spencer. I just was. Oh, and then finally, slowly but surely. Oh, sorry. Slowly but surely, I got away from it. Um, like I said, I mostly. Oh, another game that kind of had me in its grasp for a long time: Morinatsu and Shun, because I can't help it. I just love Shun so much. I love Shun so much. I can't help it. I can't help it. I'm sorry, guys, but I love Shun so much. He is freaking adorable, and it's not just he's adorable. There's other things I like about him. It just, that is a game we will get to. Give me 2 seconds though, guys. I need to get some more water. All right, guys. Welcome back. I am back and ready for action. Let us continue. It accentuates his shoulder blades and the thick and smooth muscles on his back. I'm hesitant at first, but I become more confident with each stroke. Actually, it's kind of relaxing. That is until I brush down the left side of his neck, which makes him gasp. I pull back quickly. Sorry, did I brush too hard? Amicus chuckles. No, that's just where you hit me earlier. Oh. I look closer and see that there's what looks like a lump under the fur. I carefully brush around it and move to Amicus's front. Amicus, meanwhile, has his eyes closed with a smile on his face, clearly enjoying himself. I am sorry about that, by the way. I was really scared when I did it. Don't worry about it, I deserved it for tying you up so poorly. Amicus gives me a wink. I feel my face grow a little hot as I focus on getting the fur to lay just right on his biceps. And, you're not repulsive to me at all. I was just being a dick earlier. You look good. Well, I suppose I was too. I shouldn't have made fun of your sensibilities. All aliens have their own cultures, which are different, but that doesn't mean less valuable. Amicus's tone sounds weirdly rehearsed, like he's quoting something. And also, thank you, Mark. I think you look good too. Aww. Aw, Amicus. He might just be returning the compliment, but it's nice to hear after what Cassius said. But I definitely wasn't lying, and now that I'm this close to him, I have to admit that he is a little handsome. Oh, God, stop! Yeah, you're killing me. I hate feeling this. Oh, I hate feeling like this. His face is expressive and kind of charming, and there's just a generally friendly air about him. And, well, then there's his body. It's thick and masculine, just like a burly human, and I really can't deny that it's kind of appealing. Kind of. Kind of, yeah, sure. It's only kind of appealing. It's not, like like drop dead heartthrob right here, but you know, it's all right. It's okay. I start to brush down the wolf's front, feeling his chest and stomach rise against the brush with his breathing. I sculpt the lighter fur around his pecs to accentuate them better, since it seems that's how he was keeping it earlier. I can't blame him. Then I move to his belly, moving the brush over its thick and slightly rounded form. Yeah, okay. Amicus is definitely a ballroom body type. He's got like a slight gut, but he's got like a lot of muscle to accentuate the slight chub of his body. Oh gosh. We haven't even gotten to any sexy scenes yet. I'm just like, whew. The muscles are less defined here, but I can still sense the strength underneath it all. As I brush the lower part of his midsection, I notice the crotch of his loincloth bulging out rather far. Alright, thank you, Mark. That should be good. He takes the brush from my hands and turns away, leaving me with the strong suspicion that he's adjusting himself. Then he covers it up and pretends to mess with the other bottle. Amicus got a hard on. You like the MC, don't you, Amicus? Don't you? You like guys, don't you, Amicus? Finally, he turns around looking flushed. Hold out your paws, please. I stick out my hand and he tips the bottle over, the liquid in this one having a purplish tint to it. Several drops fall into my hand. Immediately, my nose is filled with that lavender scent that I've been smelling off of Amicus since I first met him. Rub them together, and then just sort of pat up my body and underarms, along my neck as well. I can tell Amicus is still flustered. Oh, you know what I just realized? I haven't saved in a while. I just want to be safe. Let me make a save file. I just want to be safe. I always get worried with games in development because I'm worried they're like going to crash and I lose all the progress. I can tell Amicus is still flustered, so I do it quickly, not wanting to linger and cause the wolf any other problems. Maybe it just feels really good to be brushed like that. I mean, it could just be like morning wood kind of thing. Like, you know, like a lot of times, like people have morning wood and it's not necessarily they had like any weird, like dreams, like sexual or sexual fantasy dreams or anything. It's just that that's just how they wake up. I mean, it could have been just, you know, natural. I mean, but I think guys, I don't know about you, but I think it was something more than simply, you know, more than just an accident. Is this like perfume? Yes, it keeps the muskier scents hidden for the most part. It's like perfume. So it's perfume. I see. Do you use perfume? Well, I guess I do wear something like that on my underarms. Feel free to use it then. I decide not to tell him that lavender scents are mostly for women on Earth. Besides, it does smell nice. No, MC! That is offensive. He can wear whatever scent he wants. Amicus is allowed to do just about whatever he wants. Granted, we're gonna judge him very harshly, but we're still gonna love him. Once the perfume is done, Amicus moves. Oh, and Snake Lord, I just realized you were talking about Harold again. Listen, we will get to Harold. I promise. We'll get to Harold. We'll get to Harold eventually. Once the perfume is done, Amicus moves on to getting dressed, showing me how to drape his cape over his shoulders. Alright, so I know you only have the pair of clothes you came with, so I'll have a tailor drone come up later today to see if we can't make you more pairs of what you have. Oh, okay. Now, let's head to the dining room before we're late. Amicus pauses, frowning. Now, I know you won't like it, but you're going to have to feign some ignorance in front of the others. I raise an eyebrow. How so? Well, you're going to need to act a bit dumb. The antagonistic feelings that had been fading over the past few minutes start to rise up again. And how do I do that? Amicus shrugs. I don't know, give them vacant stares, incoherent mumbles, act like you can't grasp more complex matters. The whole point is to make it seem like you're a typical child. I don't like it, but I don't want to have anything to do with those aliens, so if it'll make them leave me alone. Alright. Amicus lets out a breath, clearly relieved. Thank you, Mark. This may not always have to be the case, but for now we need to play on the safe side of things. Just let me do all of the talking. You got it. Great. This looks like I don't know why this Amicus sprite makes me think of like a sprite from like an RPG. Like this is like the this would like part of this image would be literally like the headshot would literally be the headshot of the character picture for like an RPG character in Final Fantasy or something. I don't know. Great. Now let's hurry. Great. Now let's hurry to the dining room. I don't want to make Kato more angry than he already is. Kato. Sorry, that's a Kato. Kato. And with that, I follow Amicus out into the hallway. So who's Kato? The wolf you saw. The wolf you saw, my brother. He was my father's advisor and currently the acting emperor. I mentioned earlier that he'll be choosing between me and my brother. That's why I'm doing my best to keep him in a good mood, or at least not in a bad mood. I don't think he has a good one. I keep in mind to stay on Kato's good side as well. Meanwhile, sunlight pours in through the open windows and I can hear birds calling from outside again. Birds? What was that? I can hear birds. I'm just surprised they sound the same as they do on Earth. Ah, yes, you wouldn't know this. All life has the same origin and developed in a roughly similar way. It's only natural that life here is similar to your moon or planet, I mean. Oh. Wait, that's... Okay, this is getting interesting. So, is this kind of stating that there's a god or gods? Because he said pretty much all life on the planet just about develops exactly the same. That doesn't sound natural. That sounds like some like create. That sounds like not like you know like the universe like everything's natural. Like more like oh the universe created in a very specific way by a certain person or persons. Okay, I'm a little interested now. Well, all life on this side of the universe at least. There may be another, but we'll have to leave that conversation for later. For now. I follow Amicus around a corner and find myself standing in a large, spacious room. The first things I notice are the large screens on each wall of the room, displaying colorful images of stars, galaxies, and spaceships. In the middle of the room are what looks like beds surrounding a table. In those beds are the two wolves I saw earlier. Kato is sitting and leaning over towards Cassius, who is draped luxuriously over one of the beds. Kato is talking to Cassius while the other wolf has on his typical sour expression. Sitting on the floor in front of Cassius' bed is a creature that I've never seen before. Who are this? It's a cat! What's this cat doing here? It's definitely not a wolf, more feline-like. Cassius has his paw on its head, idly scratching it while he listens to whatever Kato is saying. He sees us and abruptly stops, sitting up. Kato stops talking and looks over at us. You're late! And good morning to you, Cass, and to you, Kato, Alexis. Alexis, okay, thanks, right, Alexis. Amicus turns to Kato and the small cat creature, bowing to both of them. Good morning. Morning, Amicus. Oh, hold on, I'll see what I think. Morning, oh my gosh, I'm thinking. Morning, Amicus. That's good enough. Good enough, guys. It's good enough. It's okay. The cat, Alexis, nods at Amicus with a smile. At the same time, I see Cassius tug on the gold collar around his neck. It isn't very much, but Alexis immediately drops a smile from his face, looking down. How many times do I have to tell you not to acknowledge him, Amicus? Amicus seems to ignore Cassius, walking to the empty bed while pulling me along with him. He whispers in my ear. Sit in front like Alex is doing. I look over at the cat and see his ears perk up in our direction, though he continues to avoid looking at us. He's in a kneeling position, so I do the same, starting to feel a little uneasy about this whole setup. Oh no. Amicus, meanwhile, stretches out across the bed and elbow in the cushions as he props himself up. Calm, sit and breathless. Yes, Kato. A few seconds later, literal flying saucers levitate into the room from behind another archway. I get a moment to see some sort of black device on the underside of the plates before they gently come to rest on the table. I blink but don't say anything, deciding to just take everything in without question. I decide instead to focus on the food. I can at least identify a few of the portions, one of them being what looks like bread. Then there's a plate of an odd white crumbly substance, and next to that is a bowl of what I'm pretty sure are olives. Ugh, I hate olives. Oh, if you guys don't know, I tried olives once. I hated it, and I know, and I usually once in a while will get a drink, and I know a lot of drinks come with it. And I just like I can't eat the olive. It's like please don't even put an olive within 50 feet of me, or I'll freak out. It's my weakness. Olives. They're dirty, disgusting things. There's a glass bottle filled with some type of red liquid, probably wine. Finally, in the middle, next to some towel-like napkins, is roasted poultry, golden colored and steaming. Alex Q. Oh, he seems adorable right now. He seems like a very friendly guy. We'll see as it goes on. It actually smells really, really good, and considering that I haven't eaten any real food in over a day, I feel my mouth water. Still, I have enough common sense to know that I probably can't just dig in, so I keep an eye on the cat, waiting to see what he does next. He grabs 4 small plates from the tall stack and sets them down in front of himself. Then he starts to grab some slices of bread, which he sets down on one of the plates. I look back at Amicus and he nods. So I do the same, grabbing 4 plates and setting them out in front of myself on the table, starting to grab the separate portion of food to set them on their own plate. I do. They have like, it's weird, they have like this bitter, it's like a bitter, but it's like a bitter and sweet taste. It's really weird, but I don't like them. I had them, and even the ones that even like the stuffed olive, I'm just like, no, I don't want to eat it. After I had one olive, I was like, oh no, I guess I don't like this. That and mushrooms. I'm not really a fan of mushrooms. I will eat mushrooms if it's very little, like a heavy sauce. But if it's like just mushrooms on top of like chicken or something, I won't eat them. Also, hello, oh, I didn't even say it. Hello, Doombringer. I'm curious if you've been in my stream before. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't remember you, and you probably were, and I'm really sorry if I don't remember you. My apologies. So I do the same, grabbing 4 plates and setting them out in front of myself on the table, starting to grab the separate portions of food to set them on their own plate. Meanwhile, Cato just leans over to grab his own while Cassius clears his throat. So, Amicus, what is this? I look up and immediately find Cassius' eyes boring into mine. I quickly look back down and grab up the wood-handled knife that Alexis just set down, using it to spread the white stuff onto the slices of bread. I wrinkle my nose at how stinky it is, and I realize it's probably some type of cheese. This is Mark. He's my pet. No, Amicus, what is it? It's not one of our children. Does it belong to a sibling? I'm half listening to the conversation while I see Alexis reach out with his bare paws and just pull a chunk of meat off of the poultry. Oh, hello. Well, hello and welcome to the streams. It's nice to, it's okay. I'm glad that you just stopped by, even if you're new to the streams. All are welcome. I'm glad. Hopefully you're enjoying what you're seeing. I don't know how soon you joined in, but welcome. This is a pretty laid back stream, and if you've seen my channel before, I'm pretty laid back for the most parts. I hesitate, kind of wishing I had a chance to wash my hands, but do it anyway, wincing at how hot it is. The temptation is strong just to stuff it in my mouth, but I manage to set it down on the plate. Finally, I grab up a bunch of olives and put them on their own plate. At this point, I can see that Alexis is lining his plates up in front of Cassius on the bed. Carefully, I do the same for Amicus, though I lose an olive in the process. Good, let that thing die! Nobody likes olives. Good, let it die. I watch it roll across the ground but decide to ignore it, and Amicus just pats my head with a muttered, "Thank you." No, he's from a failed uplift. I watch as Alexis starts filling a goblet with the red liquid, but look up when I realize there's complete silence. Cassius and Cato were both staring at Amicus. I look back at him and see that he looks pretty calm, though I can see him picking at his claws. Are you serious? Yes. Why? He's a barbarian! Because I've decided that the abandoned children deserve to re-establish regular content. If we're to unite with the Chemians, then we also need to unite ourselves. I start filling Amicus's goblet as I feel his eyes on me. Child or not, having a pet like this will show the Chemians my intentions. Cassius scuffs loudly, popping an olive into his mouth and chewing it vigorously. Masterful stunt, Amicus, but you still stole Father's ship to get there. Using stretch tech without authorization from the Emperor is a violation of the law, is it not, Cato? I hand the goblet to Amicus, silently wondering if the wolf is going to be thrown in jail my first day here. What would happen to me then? Still, Amicus looks calm, and when he sees my wide eyes, he just winks. It could be, but there is no Emperor, is there, Cassius? Cato finally lays back, his small plates heaped high with food. He turns his head back to Amicus. Are you saying you piloted the ship to the outer reaches of our Emperor? Voice commands only work for the Emperor, if I'm not mistaken. That is correct. I learned to navigate the ship on my own. I was able to communicate with the people, negotiate, and sign a contract with him. This is where I start to hear Amicus's voice falter. I actually do believe now that he doesn't lie often because it's clear that he's so bad at it. I copy Alexis and return to my kneeling position next to the bed, then switch to a cross-legged one when my knees get too sore. Cato watches from his bed silently, and I again feel unnerved at the feeling that he might be looking at me. Fascinating. Cassius curls his lips back. Fascinating? He used the stretch drive. He's going to get away with it because Father is dead? What does that make of all the other laws? Can a beggar now steal from the market because there is no authority to tell him not to? Can a child rebel from the Empire because there is no emperor to tell them? Quiet, Cassius. You know the circumstances as well as I do. Cassius snaps his mouth shut with a huff, turning his attention back to his food, which he starts to pick at. The conversation seems to stop there, and I wonder if Amicus is in the clear. While Cassius sure seemed indignant, I get the feeling that Amicus wasn't in any danger in the first place. I guess being the Emperor's son has its perks. Could you get me some more of the Azure, Mark? I look over to the table for a moment in confusion. What's that? I try to keep my voice low, but that's when Cassius suddenly yowls, clapping a paw to his head. Oh gods, it doesn't speak the language? I look between Cassius and Amicus in confusion. Of course not, they were abandoned. Most of the abandoned still speak the language. How far away is his home star? Roughly 50,000 light years. I don't care! Don't have it speak again. The last thing I need is a headache from the lingual manually transmitting... the lingual manually translating everything he says. It's barbaric! I don't know if he's calling the headache barbaric or me. Probably me. Upload its language to the Nexus before you let it out in public again, Amicus. I decided I really don't like Cassius. He's talking about me like I'm... Oh, found a typo. So that's a typo. It's supposed to be he's talking about me like I'm just a piece of property, but I'm like... twice. Then I feel Amicus paw on my shoulder for a moment, giving a soft squeeze before pulling back again. The conversation topic then shifts to stuff I don't really understand, mostly politics and the Chemians, whatever that is. Despite their fight earlier, Amicus and Cassius are pretty animated in their conversation. Amicus keeps sticking empty plates in my face, indicating that I should refill them. It's clear that I'm not going to be eaten while the wolves are, and I feel my irritation grow. I'm not a servant, I didn't agree to this, and even if this is supposed to help me blend in, I can't help but feel Amicus could have put me in a better position in this. Oh, hi, welcome back, Snake Lord. Yeah, I'm starting to see he's a spoiled little brat. He's a spoiled little rich kid. He's a spoiled little rich brat. Virginia sent me a letter last night stating that she'd be bringing back a Chemian tomorrow. He got trapped here after the stretch drive depletion. Oh, he wasn't able to return on the retrieval ship. He was on Amicus at the time, so it took him several months to get back to Adastra. He's going to be our guest until the next ship arrives. I think it will be quite interesting to see one in person. Who can say that they have met two siblings? Cassius reaches down and starts stroking Cassius reaches down and starts stroking Alexio's head fur. Alexios. The green and gray cat closes its eyes, smiling and purring. I watch this for a moment, then freeze up as I feel Amicus's paw on my head. He starts to gently scratch his blunt claws into my scalp, ruffling my hair around. It actually feels really good, but knowing that what he's doing gets me pissed off all over again. He already knows I don't want to be doing this, that he brought me here against my own will. Now he's stroking me in public like I actually am his pet? Well, I guess it makes sense. I guess he's doing his part to help me blend in just like I'm doing mine. But that doesn't mean I don't hate it, and then his other paw sticks his empty goblet down into my nose. More wine, please. Oh. Maybe he gets better. I don't know. Again, I don't really know much about this game. I know very little about this game. Maybe he does get better. I do follow the I do follow the artist on Twitter. I see some of their artwork, but I mean that's not really story wise. And I do follow Echo Project, but I don't really look at too much in the game because I just enjoy it so much. Like I stopped a long time ago, like paying attention to streams. Decker Lake and Ookie Cookie and Akatsuki the Dragon. I know they've been playing this game, but I've been avoiding it on purpose because I want to play it for myself. I let the goblet hang in the air for a moment, then take it and reach out robotically for the heavy wine bottle, getting up on my knees to better pour it into the empty goblet. I fill it up as Amicus continues to stroke me. I'll bet even fewer can say that they've met an abandoned species, wouldn't you think? Cassius glares at Amicus and I glare at the wine. I try to remind myself that this is just to help me get home. Or maybe he actually is just showing me off because he likes how he's getting under Cassius' fur. I turn on my knees to face the wolf and hand back his goblet, noticing how full it is, the wine almost sloshing over the rim. Amicus reaches out for the goblet. My fingers twitch and I feel the goblet slip out of my hands, watching as it seems to fall in slow motion onto its side on the bed. The wine shoots out in a red gush, splashing across Amicus's lighter furred front. Ooh. The wolf gasps, sitting up suddenly as the wine pours down his chest and stomach and onto his pants. Damn! Meanwhile, Cassius bursts out laughing behind me, snorting obnoxiously. Ha ha ha! Maybe there's a reason so few have ventured out to meet them, Amicus. I see Alex staring at me, but when I meet eyes with him, he looks down. Amicus reaches over me for one of the towels, glancing down at me as he does. I try to keep myself from smirking, but I think I fail. He pauses, staring at me in astonishment, as I guess he realizes that I did it on purpose. He doesn't look angry, though, and instead grabs with the towel and starts patting down his front, the fur still stained a dark maroon color. Okay, not to worry. Thank you for saying you're not going to spoil anything. I do know, thank you for not doing that. This reminds me. Another game that I really want to play. I'm about to wait a little bit because it is a $50 game. Freaking Camp Buddy. I hear so many people talking about and playing that game, and I'm just like, it looks so good. Like, it's not furry. It's not furry at all. It's yaoi though. It's human yaoi, and it looks so good. And Yoichi, I love Yoichi. I was like, I have to buy this game. I'm gonna buy that game. And as far as I knew, they just did an update with Taiga. Taiga is a kind of the the main, for the most part, the main antagonist throughout the main four characters' routes. And he got his own route. So, and I've been watching Oogie Cookie play that. Oh, I was like, oh, I love this game. It looks so good. He doesn't look angry though in this. Oh wait, I already read that. What are you doing, Amicus? Cassius has finished his laughing, and I look over to see him staring at us. What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm cleaning up the mess. Amicus growls at Cassius, continuing to pat himself down. Dear gods, you really don't know how to do this. Punish it! Cassius lazily flops his paw in the air in a slapping motion. I snap my gaze at Amicus, glaring again. What? No, I can't do that. Why not? It's in the contract. No physical punishment, just like Alexius. What? You heard me. Alexis is a sibling. It's barely even a child. He is mine and none of your business. Punishment is the only way to teach the lesser species, Amicus. He looks at me. You creature, up! I'll hit you instead. Ooh. Cassius! I jump, so does Cassius, ears ringing as Amicus' deep voice bellows over me. Meanwhile, Cato just lounged on his bed listening. Or maybe not. I myself up. No. Yeah, it really has been. He's been playing a lot of it. Like Camp Buddy, he has like 37 different parts. He's been loving that game. And I was like, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm really a little disappointed though that he stopped with Morinatsu. He stopped with it. He finished Shun's route. He started Koya and he never finished Koya, and then he just stopped playing it. And I'm like, dude, that is a game I will play on this channel eventually. I love Morinatsu. I played 2 routes. I got Shun's good ending, and I got one of Shin's bad endings. And Shin has a lot of bad endings, apparently. Oof, he has a lot of bad endings. I'll make this very clear right now. You are never to lay a paw on him or give him orders of any kind. Cassius having recovered raised an eyebrow at Amicus. And if I do, brother? Amicus first starts to lay flat on his shoulders again as he shrugs. I'll punch you. What? You can't do that! We're not pups anymore! And if you call him it again, I will do the same. Cassius seemed to choke for a moment. What in the world has gotten into you, Amicus? He looks at the older wolf. Cato! Yes, Cassius. Well, do something! He has threatened me like that! Amicus, be nice to your brother. Cassius' ears turn bright red and he slumps on the bed, glaring at his remaining food. Oh, he treated him like a little kid. He's like, now. He's like, Amicus will treat you good. Anyway, if you two are finished and be off to your studies, don't be late this time, Amicus. Your tutor complained again last week. That's today? You know, you should take care to start paying more attention. After seeing what you accomplished, I'm starting to lean towards trials and making my decision. The room suddenly goes very quiet. And Cassius, I need to speak with you for a moment before you leave. Amicus gets to his feet and I do the same. The wolf glances at Cassius and Cato, but they're deep in conversation. He turns back to me. I forgot that it's my study day, so I'll be gone for a little while. I'm going to ask Alexos to show you around and give you something to do while I'm away. I feel myself grow tense at the idea of being without the only person I know around here. Seriously? Listen, you don't have to do anything. I'll make that clear to everyone, but I feel you might rather have something to do rather than sit in my room all day. Can't tell them to do their damn homework or no dessert. Listen, you two, either you both do your homework or there will be no dessert. Am I clear? I don't care even if you are the Emperor's sons. He seems to think that's the chores that I'm upset about rather than him leaving me alone. Oh, Mark is getting so needy. He's like, Amicus, you're leaving me again? Why are you? It's like, I need you. I know, it's like, I do. I need you, Amicus. Alright. Amicus frowns at me and I can't help but feel a little bad. He does seem to be trying to make things as easy as possible for me. And, sorry. I just try to still stay in front. Don't worry, yes, wine isn't easy to get out of the fur, but I know why you did it, and I deserved it. Is it he speaking it's his language again? Shut up, Cassius. What? Alexos. Amicus gestures at the small cat who is currently stacking the dirty dishes on top of each other. Could you please show Mark around the palace along with the tasks and activities you do? He's unfamiliar with nearly everything. Let me guess, do you want me to read that line? Are you trying to insinuate that you want me to read that line? I mean, you know what? I'll do the line anyway, even if you're not making me. Under my roof, you obey my damn rules, you pups. Now go to your rooms and do your homework or you're grounded. I would be happy to, Amicus. So you can order my pet around? Kato standing over by the doorway and clearly eager to leave sighs. Alec, Alex, how do you? It's not Alex. How? Why can't I say the word Alexos? Alexos. Alexos. Okay, I'm assuming that's how you say it. But Kato. But Kato. Damn it! No, but you gonna the whole stream's gonna be you giving me ad libs for fucking Adastra. No buts go. Oh my goodness, we're gonna be doing. You know what? I'm gonna hurt you if you do this during my other streams. Like I'm just gonna break. Alex, Alexos, Alex, Alex, oh, Alexos. Like I'm saying, Alexos. Okay, Alexo, Alex. Oh my gosh, why is this word giving me so much trouble? I don't know why his name, and he. I get the, and I think he's in the game for a good portion of it. I need to get this name down. Alexos, 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 Alexos. Okay, I'm gonna try to remember that. Enough. Try to be reasonable, Cassius. Now both of you be off to your studies, and a quick shower for you, Amicus. Oof. Amicus grumbles and starts to. He really is their father. What? Did I do something wrong? Oh my gosh, Kato really is their father. Alright, I'm sorry. I can't do. I don't know why I can't. Why can't I say this word? I'm gonna get frustrated. Alexio. Is it now you say Alexios? Am I saying it right? Because I want to get this right. Because now I'm getting frustrated. Is that's not right? Alexios? Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep going. Oh damn it, Alex Eos. Oh my gosh, I can't get it. I don't know why his name's giving me such trouble. It's frustrating. Amicus grumbles because everybody else's name I got down Pat. Amicus grumbles and starts to turn away, then turns back to me, resting a paw on my shoulder. Alexios. Okay, close. That's for the other one. Alexos. Alexos. Okay, just need to say Alexos. Okay. You know what? We'll get to it eventually. Snake Lord, I am. Hold on. I will. Okay. Give me literally. How? Oh wait, no, we can't do it right now because I'm doing this so the calls can. Elect Alex elect Alexos. Okay, I think I got right. Alexos. I'll be back toward the evening. The big wolf pauses, wanting to say more, but leaves me with a. How? No! What did I do? No! Alexo. It's not Alexos. It's before Alexos. Alex. Oh my gosh. Why? You know what? All right, Snake Lord. We'll do it later. You'll tell me because I'm really getting frustrated. I don't know. It's not Alexos. It's Alexos. Okay, you know what? We'll do it later. I don't know why I can't say it anymore. Now with like I for some reason I am having trouble with his name and I don't know why. Alexios. Alexios. Is that how you say it? Alexios? Because this is gonna bother me now. Alexios. Okay. Anyway. We'll do it later. The big wolf pauses, wanting to say more, but leaves with a simple, I'll see you then. And with that, he gives me a little wave and another wink before following Cassius and Cato through the archway. Just as Amicus leaves, Cassius pauses to give me a sour look. Then again, most of his expressions are pretty sour, but it still makes me uncomfortable. Then I'm left alone with the cat. I felt an odd sense of loneliness at seeing Amicus just leave like that. It's like my mother just dropped me off at preschool or something. He's the only one that's been treating me like an actual person, mostly at least. Here's Alexios. Alexios. That's Alexios, right? Alexios. I hear the small sound of someone clearing their throat behind me. Hello. The small cat smiles at me pleasantly, his paws clasped neatly in front of himself. I say he's small, but he's really about the same height as me. It's just odd seeing another alien that's my size when I'm always have to look up at the wolves. Hi. I see Alexios' eye. Oh, God. I see Alexios' left eye twitch and he raises a paw to his head. Oh, oh dear, this is going to be an interesting day. Is something wrong? More twitching. Just my linguo. It will take a while to learn your language, but it gets better the more you speak, so if you don't mind, I'd like to know more about you. I'm very curious. Amicus told me to act dumb, so I try to figure out how I might do that. I fix a distant look on my face. Oh, I can imagine what it looks like. Far away. Alexios blinks, then giggles. Oh. We both stand there awkwardly for a moment before he gestures at the table. Well, why don't we have a seat? We eat their leftovers when they've finished. The cat moves over to sit on Cato's bed, reaching out for his own small plate. I'm reminded of how hungry I am, so I quickly do the same, choosing to sit on Cassius' bed since Amicus is covered in wine. Will this food agree with your stomach? I think so. It actually looks kind of like some of the stuff I eat back home. I mean, it's basically olives, bread, and meat. I point to each of the dishes. Alexios puts his paw back up to his head. Oh my, so many words and in full sentences too. I freeze. I mean... I mean, I don't really know what this food is. I'm just guessing. Mark, come on. He's not that stupid. He's not that dumb. No, I mean it's your words. So many of them and in complete complex sentences. Fuck, I'm bad at this. I guess the wolves uplifted intelligence a lot more back then. Oh, maybe. I wonder if I've ruined our plan already, but Alexios doesn't seem alarmed, just curious, so I turn my attention back to the food. There isn't much left on the table. The meat was mostly cleaned off the bones by Cato. Next to it are 4 slices of bread and the bowl of olives. Alexios starts on the poultry. Pretends to be dumb, is so dumb at not being dumb. Alexios sorts on the poultry, working at it with his claws until it comes apart in 2 pieces with a loud tearing sound. He hands me 1/2. You should be able to find a little meat on there. I take it from him, trying not to show my disappointment. Mark is so smart, he can't act dumb. Oh no, believe me, I'm not that smart. I believe me, you know what? You're not wrong. Then he puts 2 slices of bread on a plate and slides it toward me before taking the remaining 2. Make sure to use the cheese. The bread is a bit bland without it. I pull a few thin strips of meat off the bone and taste it. It's good, really, really good, and I quickly search the bones for more, but there isn't much at all. Hungry? I look up and see Alexios delicately picking at his own half of bird. Yeah, I haven't eaten in a few days. Oh, really? Why not? The trip here was a bit rough. I guess I did eat on the ship, but it wasn't very filling. Oh, like the protein sludge they have. Yeah, that stuff is quite terrible. I can understand why you're hungry. Well, you won't have to worry. Why not? We eat dinner with our masters in their rooms. Amicus always serves himself very large portions, and also sneaks me my own food, since Cassius doesn't take much himself. Alexios slowly spreads cheese onto his bread. Also, guys, are you enjoying the voice? I'm sorry, I know it's... Alexios is kind of a hard voice for me to do. I'm not really sure what to do for him. He will take good care of you in that respect. With the mention of Amicus, I start to feel a bit lonely again. Actually, something I've noticed is that the whole palace seems to be lonely. So, where is everyone? Alexios chews thoughtfully on his bread. I try to think of a way to phrase things stupidly, then give up as I decide he already knows I'm able to form complex sentences. This palace doesn't seem to have very many people around. Oh, well, what do you expect other... Oh, well, do you expect others to be here? Well, I guess, like, servants or guards or some other officials. Most needs in the palace are covered by artificial intelligence and drones. Same goes for the palace defense. I suppose it may be different where you're from, but the siblings learned long ago that the fewer sapients you have in a location that needs to be secure, the better. You and I are an exception. The bread tastes like literal chalk, so I decided to spread a little bit of the cheese on it despite the smell. To my surprise, it's salty and creamy and not bad at all. The smell is hard to ignore, though. So what is the point of having a pet, then? Amicus didn't tell you? Well, he did. He just mentioned status and stuff. Is there any other reason? Why do we have to do stuff for them if they have robots that can do it instead? Status is the main reason. Yes, our duty is to be by their side during public appearances or in official meetings. Obviously, having an artificial sapient doing the same isn't impressive at all. We don't really have to do anything manual in the palace, but Cassius likes the idea of a sapient being his servant. He says it reminds him of the old days. I see. Amicus told me that I don't really have to do anything for him except brush his fur. Ah, yes. Amicus is very meticulous about that. Do you know him well? Fairly well. I've been here for a few months now, so I've had my fair share of interactions with him, even though Cassius doesn't like it. I see. What do you think of him? I think that you're very lucky to have a master like Amicus. Why is that? Well, Amicus is very kind. Sometimes he tries to be all official and assertive, and he likes to tease me, but he comes off as more open, whether he intends to or not. This is all compared to Cassius, of course. I think for a moment. Do you not like being Cassius's pet? There's a pause, though. Alexios continues to smile. Cassius is very specific about how he wants to be talked to and such, but this is a great quality for a prospective emperor to have, for sure. But in casual conversation, it's much easier to talk to someone like Amicus. I take a sip of the wine, and as far as I can tell, it's similar to the few times I've had it on Earth. He has been really nice to me. At least after the whole kidnapping thing. He is a very nice person. He just tends to not think everything through. Alexios is... Oh no, please not today. Alexios... Because see, that S got me confused. Eyes flick to look behind me before he focuses back on my face. I understand that normally we shouldn't speak so candidly about our masters. This is just a conversation between pets. Oh yeah, I understand. There's a moment of silence that goes on just long enough to be uncomfortable. Yes, I thought you would. I have to say that you're extremely perceptive, almost on the same level as a sibling. I wince internally as Alexios points out my intelligence again. Only took me 10 minutes to fail my one and only job. Alexios smiles at me again. Ah, was I not supposed to know that? Apparently he's perceptive as well. Don't worry, like I said, this is between pets. Alexios leans in conspiratorially. I don't just blab everything I know to my master. I'm simply his servant, not spy. He leans back again. Though he might wish I was, but honestly, it's really nice to be able to talk to someone other than my superiors. Amicus was the only one to treat me as an equal, but Cassius usually keeps our contact minimal. I put the last bit of bread in my mouth, and as soon as I do, Alexios sits up. Come, we're finished. Yes, Alexios. I watch with fascination as the dishes levitate off the table and float away through the archway they originally came through. Do you want to go outside? Like I said, there's not much to do, but the gardens do require a more sapient touch to keep them presentable. Yeah, sure. I brush crumbs off my jeans and stand up. I'm so hungry, but the amount that I've eaten has taken the edge off of it, at least. I follow Alexios quietly through the halls, really enjoying the architecture of the palace for the first time. We enter the main hall, and Alexios stands in the sunlight pouring in through the archways. Aren't the mornings beautiful here? This is the best time to do work in the gardens. I'd say we have a good 3 hours before it gets too hot. We start walking out into the gardens when I'm suddenly struck by something odd. So, you just said we have 3 hours. Yes. Well, how long is an hour here? The same. Oh, we use the same minutes and hours and stuff? That didn't seem possible. Alexios thinks, rubbing the spot above his left eyebrow. Well, the linguo is a complicated device. It's parental tech, so it's something that we don't really understand at all. But what we do know is that it translates language in a way that offers the best understanding possible for the host. Alexios crouches by a pillar, examining the ivy growing around its surface. I used a measurement of time specific to the wolves and their language, and the linguo simply translated it to a measurement you'd better understand. The small cat chuckles. It's something I've given up on understanding myself. It's not perfect and can create really confusing situations, especially when it comes to certain words and numbers. Oh. I see Alexios single out a small white flower growing at the base of the pillar before he plucks it out and sets it to the side. I start to wonder if I should maybe learn the language. The linguo is impressive and all, but it doesn't seem like it's very specific. Alexios grins. Don't think too much about it. Just try to remember that this doesn't mean everything actually is the same. There are 19 hours in a day on Adastra, which I imagine is at least somewhat different compared to your own planet. Not too much, so 5 hours different. Anyway, what I'm doing right now is pulling up some weeds. The drones do a good job of watering and pest control, but they often miss smaller weeds like these. I crouch to the pillar next to Alexios, searching through the ivy for weeds to pull at the base. I crouch at the pillar next to Alexios, searching through the ivy for weeds to pull at the base. So, there are 19 hours in a day here? Yes. That's a bit shorter than back home. Oh, I get that. There are 30 hours in a day where I'm from. You get used to it after a few weeks, though. I prefer it, actually. 30 hours? Oh, man, that's too much in a day. Because all that would mean is they're like, oh, 30 hours a week? That means, alright, an average job would be like 12 hours. I turn my attention back to the pillar and suddenly find myself staring right at a strange crab-like thing sticking to the stone. At first I wonder if it's a carving of some kind since it's so big. But as I look closer, it moves and I realize it's a massive living spider. Oh, whoa! I freaking did not like spiders. Oh, no. The next thing I know, I'm rolling away from the pillar action movie style before popping back up to my feet. Oh my god! Welcome to Visual Novel Garden Keeping Simulator. Oh, that's funny. What is it? A spider thing! I'm standing a good 10 feet away from the pillar now, but I can still see the massive spider. Its thick legs fan out to the width of a claw. I shiver. Oh, I see. I stare at him. How is that funny? I'm sorry, they are very startling when you first encounter them. Alexios walks up to the spider and starts making shooing motions at it. Even from here I can see its black beady eyes. It doesn't move at all, choosing to sit motionlessly on its pillar. Adastrian arachnids and insects are disturbingly large compared to the ones on my home moon. I look around suddenly feeling like I'm in danger, imagining giant wasps descending from the skies! You monster! Don't do that! Don't give me that image! Alexios starts to look more frustrated. The spider refused to be intimidated by his limp-wristed swipes. Nothing in the gardens is dangerous, though, and they're needed to balance the ecosystem. These creatures' venom is far too mild to cause much more than an itchy bump if it bites at all. Alexios gives another weak swipe at the spider and takes the opportunity to bolt up his arm so fast it becomes a blur before stopping on his face. For a moment, we both stand there in shock. It clings to him like a face hugger. Then, by golly, and get it off! He dances around a place for a moment and I simply watch in fascinated horror. I'm glad they didn't actually show that. Finally, he shakes his head hard and the spider runs down his front to skittle across the ground and into some bushes. Alexios heaves for a breath for a moment, trembling. Despite myself, I have to laugh in amazement at what I just saw. Why are you laughing? Sorry, it was just so surprising. You were so sure of yourself until... I chuckle again. Well, it surprised me. He shivers, rubbing his shoulders. There's honestly nothing to be afraid of when it comes to those, but it was right on me, and the way they move. He shudders again. And you just stood there and watched. I mean, what could I have done? If that happened to me, I would have jumped in the pond. Alexios sighs, and I see his fur start to flatten out again. Then he also chuckles. Well, I was about to. Anyway, let's get back to work. If you see another spider, just work around it. Oh, for the next hour, we move from pillar to pillar, cleaning up the unwanted weeds. I'm way more vigilant now, checking every pillar for spiders before we start. Luckily, we don't come across any more. After a while... Hold on. So guys, I have some music, and I gotta figure out which ones is which. Do we have anything that's gonna match this? I probably don't. I have to learn some of this. Oh god, stop! Stop, you monster! Doombringer, stop, you monster! You beast! Stop at once! I'm trying to... I have so much music here, and I'm not sure which one to be. Clear Sky. I gotta learn what these sound like. I even have Camp Buddy songs in here because... You know, I think this music matches. I'm not going to change this. I've got a few Morinatsu songs on here. After a while, we finally sit on a bench under some trees and Calm floats out a few platters of tiny pastries that remind me of quiches. Those are followed by a glass of cold, green, vegetable-tasting drinks. It's delicious. So, can I ask where you're from? Very far away, even further than your home. What brought you here? The cat sighs and pauses with the pastry halfway to his mouth. It's a bit complicated, but I was here as a sort of ambassador. I arrived just as the stretch drive depletion occurred. Yes, I don't want Doombringer to have a nightmare either. Doombringer, relax, because I freaking hate spiders, and that's why when I see a horror movie and you see a spider, I flip the fuck out. I'm like, oh god, get it out of here! Get it out of here! I hate, and I would tell people it's so ironic because Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, and I hate spiders. I don't know why. And there's a lot of really good cover issues of Spider-Man that has him and a bunch of spiders, and I'm just like, I love you, Spider-Man, but I hate the spiders. I hate them. Hate them. Oh. Also, I'm still trying to find Alexios's voice. I'm not sure what to do for him. What was that? Alexios shrugs. Well, for whatever reason, the Romulans stopped supplying the wolves with stretch drive power when the Emperor died. They're starbound right now, so they can't shuttle me back to my planet. The situation between the wolves and their parents is worrying, and we don't know how long the wolves will be without the stretch. So my people sent their own ship to retrieve everyone on Adastra, but I, missed it. Missed it? Alexios frowns, looking embarrassed again. Well, I slept in and missed the departure. Wow, really? I mean, it happens to the best of us, no? I guess. Why didn't they wait for you? That's kind of messed up that they just leave. Okay. When using stretch tech, time is important. Everything runs on a specific schedule, so if you miss it, you miss it, and they're certainly not going to send another one out for one person. Wow, didn't you have an alarm clock or someone to wake you? Trust me, it was a series of many unfortunate events that led to that happening, the main one being that even though I woke up with enough time to reach the starport, I got lost in Adastra City's terrible public transportation system. I was running from platform to platform, wolves all around me trying to touch me because they'd never seen a cat before, and I could barely read the signs because, well, for my species, water comes from the eyes when we're stressed, so... Oh, you were crying. You know what that is? Yeah, my species does it too. He looks away and I can see the insides of his ears turn red. Oh, I did not know that. It's a shared trait among us and the wolves, but I don't know many others that do it aside from the Chemians. Anyway, I eventually decided to use my situation to continue my work and build a relationship with the Imperial family, so I became Cassius's pet. Alexios' situation doesn't sound all that different from mine, even though the reasons for us getting here were very different. When does the next ship come? Alexios shrugs. Years, at least one a decade, but sometimes more, I'm hoping within the next few years, though. I'm sorry to hear that. It's not the worst life, and the wolves treat me well enough. We do have a special relationship. With Cassius? Between us and the wolves, unlike the other siblings, our parents originate in the same galaxy. Though our views are very different, there's a bond there. Alexios brushes his paws together. Are you done? Yeah. Calm, we're finished. And with that, the platters and glasses float away. I'm starting to get used to all of this. But Mark, was it? Yeah? I'm sorry, I guess we skipped introductions. You already know me as Alexios, but you can call me Alex. Oh, thank you, game. Thank you, game. I don't have to worry about messing up his name anymore. Alex is so simple. Hello, Alex. Hello, Mark. So now that we're no longer pretending that you're not so sapient anymore, where are you from? Tell me about yourself. That gives me some pause. While he's been really nice to me so far, I know I can't just reveal everything to Alex, so instead I'll be vague like he was. Well, I'm from far away, but less far away than you. I'm a primate? I see. Are you important among your people? No, I'm just a student. Oh, do you know why Amicus chose you then? I think he just chose me at random. I just happened to be where the uplift occurred. Alexios blinks and laughs. That's just like Amicus. Yeah, it is actually. But I guess it makes sense to choose a commoner if he wants to unite the abandoned children again. Oh yeah? I decided that shifting the conversation away from me is a good tactic for now. Yeah, didn't he explain that to you? Maybe a little. He didn't tell me all that much. Don't take it personally. Amicus doesn't often think ahead. Right now, the wolves are in a bit of a strange situation. Again, this is between you and me, but they've fallen behind the other siblings in terms of spread and resources. The main reason being that they don't uplift their children to similar intelligence levels as themselves. Intelligence levels? I thought they just spread their culture. Alex frowns at me. You don't know? I guess you were abandoned, but you should know that your intelligence, every child's intelligence, was uplifted by a sibling. Oh, no, I guess we lost that bit of information. Well, that's not the end of their problems. These children are indentured servants in a way. In exchange for having their intelligence mostly uplifted, they have to serve the Emperor until the debt is repaid. No, we're gonna use Alex unless it's otherwise stated. Okay, so but can I talk about, this is kind of interesting, guys. So, basically, it sounds like the parents are gods. Well, like, not necessarily gods, but they sound like they're not necessarily gods. I don't know how to describe. Not like, yeah, we're calling them. They sound like they're gods. We'll just go with that. So the parents are basically like gods, and the children are people that they've uplifted or taught. That doesn't sound good. Oh, and how long has it been going on? Heh. Well, let's just say that the first successfully uplifted wolf children haven't quite finished repaying their debt. That sounds like slavery. Alex glances at me. It does, doesn't it? That's confusing to me. But if they have all of these robots and stuff, why do they need sapiens to be their slaves? Advanced artificial sapiens are gifted by the parents. We can't build them. We're a bit spoiled here in the palace, but outside, not so much. And even then, artificial sapiens isn't perfect and likely never will be. Actual thinking machines don't exist. This is why uplifting children to the same intelligence level as a sibling is important. Good ideas come from anywhere. Oh boy, Doom, you can't do that to me. Like the parents were. Doom just said the parents were interested because I'm like something's going on here. It seems like right now I'm just getting that the parents are gods and the wolves are quote quote species that are categorized as children that are right underneath parents. But apparently the wolves aren't doing so well compared to the other children. So I'm curious why. I guess your people don't do what the wolves do. No, we uplift our children as much as we can. This practice is isolated to the wolves. They're seen by the other siblings as harsh on their own children and the rights of sapiens in general. I see. I'm starting to see the wolves and even Amicus in a whole new light. As if reading my mind, Alex goes on. But things are changing. Amicus choosing you as his pet shows that he sees you as close to an equal. But then there's Cassius. Alex's tail switches around on the bench between us. He'd rather things stay the same or even regress. That's why he's made a strong challenge against Amicus. There are many wolves who are unsure of the change Amicus suggests, and the proposed alliance between the wolves and the Chemians is only adding to it. Chemians? They're another sibling species, the most powerful in the galaxy, in fact, but that worries a lot of people here. There hasn't been a war between siblings in over 100 years, but the last one was between the Chemians and the wolves. You can imagine what sort of problems that might create, so Cassius wanting the wolves to stay independent and in complete control of their children is rather popular. You might wonder why I'm telling you this, but I want you to understand the empire that you're in. It will make it easier to navigate. I was in fact wondering why he's telling me all of this. Does he have some other motive that he's not telling me? I look over at him. Do you want Cassius to become emperor? Mark, you don't ask this guy that's literally like indentured servant to Cassius. Oh yeah, do you want to become emperor? Because Alex seems okay, but I don't know. It seemed like I've heard that speaking too much, and it's a little worrisome. It's like, why are you saying so much? I like that we. Oh, yes. I like that we can discuss a lot of things, and being a sibling allows me to have more freedom than most, but that's one thing that I should probably keep silent on. Oh, he don't want to talk about it. That only confuses me more, but it doesn't sound like he's on Cassius' side. Maybe Amicus and I could find an ally in him. Well, I think I would prefer Amicus if his whole thing is to treat other sapiens equally. From what I can tell, that seems to please Alex. Well, we'll find out soon enough after the trials. Alex's mood suddenly brightens. But anyway, I've really been enjoying our time together today. Like I said, it's so nice to be able to talk to someone who isn't my superior. I hope we can do this often while you're here. Yeah, of course. Wonderful. Alex raises a paw to look up at the sun, at Vita. We should keep working. It's starting to get too hot out here. For the next several hours, we work around the garden before finally moving inside to walk around the palace a bit. I don't know how long we keep going with this. I'm really enjoying it though. He points to doors for things like the throne room and communal bath, but we never go inside, and he tells me I should only do so when I'm with Amicus. Eventually, we move back to the dining room where Alexios, see, you're happy now, Doom? I used the word again. Suggest we watch the screens until our masters return. He says it will better acquaint me with wolfish culture. It takes me a moment to realize that I'm watching a sort of film starring wolves similar to Amicus. They're acting out scenarios about traveling into space and finding more sapiens. The sapien species they find are wolves in masks. I guess they really don't have CGI because every effect looks practical. It's long, boring, and the acting is overly exaggerated, like they're in a silent film. Finally, after what seems like a good 3 hours, Alex tells me that Amicus will be returning soon and that I might want to tidy up his room before. Wait, what kind of movie is this? 3 hours? Dude, that's a really long movie. Ooh. Snake Lord, what did you send me? Girl, what did you send me? See some beautiful pictures. Oh, that looks so pretty right now. That looks really pretty. I wish I lived somewhere nice like that. My neighborhood's not the best. Oh, crap. Oh, and of course the guys are doing... I can't join right now. I'll join them later. Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, I took a look. They look really pretty, Snake Lord. Finally, after what seemed like a good 3 hours, Alex tells me that Amicus will be returning soon and that I might want to tidy up his room before he gets back. I think after the day ends for this game. By the way, that's one thing I noticed too. This game doesn't have like a day counter. Like normally most of these games are like, oh, like like it's a 30-day time period or around that period, and here's a big thing on the upper right or upper left. This game actually doesn't have a day counter. I'm really surprised. I just realized that. I'm relieved to cut the film short, and Alex and I part ways to go to our respective rooms. I'm surprised to see it's already dark outside. Even with the shorter day, I guess mindlessly watching wolves overreacting to other wolves in masks took up more time than I thought. It is nighttime. On my way through the marble halls, I pause every now and then to look at the large murals on the walls, depicting everything from wolves swimming to wolves swinging swords at other canines. In the Great Hall is the largest mural, and it depicts 5 wolves. The features are flat and lack any sort of perspective, making the muzzles look a bit askew. 2 large wolves loom over the other 3. One is white with a feminine shape, while the larger of the 2 is black and holding his paw to his chest. Around his head is a wraith. Of the 3 smaller wolves, one is also clearly feminine, while another is white. I wonder if this might be Cassius and Virginia, which would leave the remaining wolf in the middle to be Amicus. He's skinnier, and I wonder if this might be him as a child or a teenager. A glowing wraith floats above his head. I jump as someone clears their throat very loudly next to me. Oh, it's Cato. I turn around and find myself staring at Cato the advisor. He looks at me up and down for a moment, at least I think he does. More silence. I open my mouth to respond, and I remember what Amicus told me. I let my eyes unfocus and my mouth droop open a bit. Yeah, you're right. It is in space, so their time probably. You're right about that. That makes a little. Kind of makes sense. Kato's ears twitch at the sound I make, then clears his throat again. Hello, Mark. How are you enjoying your first day in the palace? I wonder if I should keep droning or I should at least answer the question. I am technically a sapient, so I suppose it's okay if I sort of understand. Good. The left side of Kato's scarred face twitches as he waits for more, but I don't give him anything. Good. I trust that Alexio showed you around the palace. It's a bit of a stifling life behind these walls, but hopefully with time we will be able to take you out to the city. I cross my eyes a little. Oh, I like it. Yes, so where are you from again exactly? There's something behind this wolf's words. Something there that's a little more than innocent curiosity. Big rock planet by star. Kato waits, and again I don't say anything more. Do you have a name for the planet? Yeah, big rock planet. That made me laugh more than... that made me laugh. It made me laugh probably more than it should have. That's just, I don't know why. That made me laugh. Oh, that's a good laugh. Kato massaged the left side of his forehead, looking a little bit annoyed. Big rock planet? With what? With water. Kato stares. So, big rock planet with water. I nod dumbly. Kato sighs loudly and stalks off, not even bothering to end the conversation. I would have acted this dumb in real life, just like to be that. Wonderful, now I have a headache. And with that, he disappears around the corner. I decide that I did an okay job, as Kato seems to think that I'm a massive idiot. I make my way quickly to Amicus' room, glad to not run into anyone else. There isn't much to do. Amicus' room is spotless, so after meandering around and smoothing the bed covers over, I choose to sit down on the sofa and wait. Despite the fact that I've only been up for what's probably been 10 hours, I'm exhausted. Okay. I can't listen. I can't help that I'm a dumbass. I'm acting. I'm acting. I have to pretend to be big big dumb primate with stick. I know. I know. I you know. I figured I knew what you meant, Snake Lord. Maybe I won't have any trouble adjusting to the shorter days. Also, what have you guys been thinking of the mic? Do you like it? Do you think it's too loud? Have you noticed a different a better quality in the audio, or you think it's about the same? It's okay if you do. I'm just curious if it's really changed much for you. No. As I start to doze, there's a sudden clattering sound toward the door. I jump and see Amicus coming, wheeling in a tray with several plates on top of it, heaped high with food. He grins at me, and I get a feeling of relief at seeing him. Hello, sorry, I suppose Alex didn't tell you that they set these outside the door on the 15th hour. He treat you well? Yeah, he was nice. Amicus wheels the cart up to the sofa and then flops back onto it next to me, making the whole thing shake. Oh, that was a long day. Are you okay? Amicus opens one eye at me. Barely. Had to go over maths today, and my head feels as if it's going to explode. Didn't help that Bulbous kept cracking me over the head with his stick when I answered wrong. Wow, that sounds harsh. Don't worry, it was nothing compared to the one you gave me. Amicus smirks, and I can't help but smile back at his teasing. He seems to have become more comfortable around me with how relaxed he is. Amicus, you can't do this. You can't do this to me. Cause, dude, if Amicus teased me in real life, man, it'd be a done deal. I'd be like, take me now. I am sorry about that. Don't be, and stop apologizing for it. Now let's wash and eat. My stomach's felt hollow since breakfast. Makes me... Oof. Here are pictures of my cat. Oh my gosh, your cat is adorable! Oh, it's so cute! It's so cute, Snake. You're killing me with your cuteness over here. Oh my gosh. I'm surprised because your cat is straight cute. Like, your cat has a perfect... Your cat has that camera face. It's so adorable. I hate to say this after you show me these pictures. I'm more of a dog person, but I did think about getting a cat. But I want a dog first. I might get a cat after. Maybe I'll get a cat after I get 2 dogs. Then I might get a cat. But I'm more. Oh, but your cat is so adorable. It's so adorable. I love it. Love it. You know what? That's a good question, Doombringer. I've always been curious about seeing like an actual like visual novel or a furry visual novel or story where actually like they exist in a world where they're still like not where there's still like real life animals that haven't evolved to that state yet. That'll be kind of interesting. His name is Poop. Aw. He is a very pretty boy. He is very your cat is a very pretty boy. He's very cute. Oh, hold on. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, there we go. We both go to the restroom to rinse our Paws hands in the sink before heaping our plates with food. It's more of the same with bread and meat and olives, but there's also a good amount of other vegetables and fruit that I have a hard time identifying. Amicus shows me how to combine the fruit and cheese on the bread, and I find myself really starting to like the smelly spread, as long as I ignore the smell. Compared to breakfast, Amicus really wolfs down a lot of food. He probably ends up eating about 3 times as much as me. All the while, he tells me about his scary instructor and how he punishes him way more than Cassius. Well, does he usually get the answers right? Well, yeah, but he should help me understand rather than smack my ears. That doesn't help anything unless he has information in his stick and is bashing it into my brain somehow. Don't worry, I hate math too. Oh, yes, this character really is me. This smart character is really me. Because I hate math unless it's to do with money. That's the only time I'm good at math. But I am not good at math at all. My final year of high school, I had to take 2 math classes, and I had to pass both in order to graduate. Because it was required that I pass 3 years of math to graduate high school. Well, I'm better in other things like literature and history. Ha! Cassius is hopeless at remembering battles. Amicus flexes a bicep. Oof. Amicus, stop. Stop, this is a PG stream. And he can forget about wrestling. He could never beat me in a fight. Yeah, I wouldn't think so. So yes, he can have the maths all he wants. The trials don't involve that anyway. What are these trials you guys keep talking about? Amicus takes a big gulp of wine, gasping when he finally pulls a goblet away from his face. How many cats do you have? Holy crap! How many cats do you have? Snake Lord, how many cats do you have? What Cato was considering using to decide the next emperor are essentially 3 trials: music and dance, rhetoric, and finally combat. And whoever wins those becomes emperor? Well, whoever wins 2 out of 3, combat is less, so that one of us wins the first 2. It won't come to that. I'm really just hoping that Cato chooses me in the next few days now that he's seen you, but if the trials do happen, you have nothing to worry about. Amicus grins at me confidently. I don't? I'm better than Cassius in at least 2 of those things, perhaps even in music and dance. You know, I'd believe you, but one thing I know about you is how, overly confident you are when it comes to certain things. Why do you say that? Our entire experience on the ship, maybe? That's different. I was doing something I didn't really understand. I understand my studies aside from maths. Amicus leans back, finally one paw on his stomach. Anyway, how was your day? Did Alex show you around? Amicus starts to grab the remaining food to set aside on its own plate. Yeah, I realize that there isn't much to do. Yeah, it was a bit of a... bit of a bad day. I have tomorrow off from studies, though, so we can do something entertaining. Like what? Oh, I don't know. Go swimming, go to the baths, talk, you name it. Maybe eventually we can go to the city, too. The city outside? Well, everything's outside. I mean, the one that I can see across the lake? Yes, that one, Adastra City, the capital of our empire. Oh. Oh, isn't it kind of small for that? I mean, it looks really nice, but it kind of just looks like an average-sized city. Amicus frowns. I think it's quite large. How big are cities on Earth? I shrug. I don't know, pretty big? Millions of people? Amicus raised an eyebrow. Millions? Yeah. I wonder if the lingua is translating everything correctly. Why? How big is Adastra? The city? Just over 5 million. The wolf population is 80 million. Oh, that's nothing compared to humans. We breed like cockroaches. Like, here's more babies left and right. We have like, what do we have? Like 3 or 4 billion people on our planet? Oh. How many humans are there? Oh, I was way off. 7 billion. Oh, Mark is, I'm the dumbass. Mark knows his stuff. Like, 7 billion? Amicus chokes. What? Is that a lot? That's preposterous. Do you not have population control measures put in place? No, we don't. We probably should, but we don't, Amicus. Us humans do not have that. Well, not in most places. Amicus shakes his head. Well, you are parentless, so I guess it makes sense your species might be so misguided. Amicus, don't be an asshole. Amicus, you're being a jackass right now. Amicus seems to try very hard to choose the last word, even though he's still being very condescending. He seems to notice my annoyance, though. Well, is your species doing well? Is your planet able to sustain such a population? Not at all! Sort of. I guess there are problems. Amicus strokes his chin. Well, I suppose when I become emperor, I could ask the parent about your species. The whole thing is a real mystery, but it's clear that we must have overlooked your people somehow. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. He smiles at me. Maybe we could even bring you into our fold again. Whoa, hang on a second. Images of Roman spaceships descending from the heavens to enslave the human race, all because of me, flashed through my mind. You know, Alex told me about what you do to the other sapients. It doesn't sound like something humans would want to be a part of. What did he tell you? The whole enslavement thing? Enslavement? What you do to your children? Well, that's a harsh word for it. No, it's the right word. Humans have done the whole indentured servant thing back on Earth, and it never turned out well for the servant. Amicus's ears go down a bit. And as misguided as humans might be, we've at least abolished slavery. I noticed Amicus's ears turning red. Maybe he never expected to be lectured on ethics by a human. Well, I do mean to change things a bit when I become emperor. A bit? I mean, things can't just be changed all at once. It has to be gradual. I really hate to agree with Amicus here. He's not wrong. Oh, yeah, definitely. It is. I just got the reply. Birth control and condoms, definitely. Like I said, after the end of this day, I'm gonna stop the stream. We're doing really well. It's been 2 hours and almost 2.5 hours. It was so nice to do this again, gosh. You have no idea. I'm so happy to do this again. It's so hard working the 2 jobs, but man, it's so nice to do this again. I'm gonna try really hard. For you guys to get the finished Neko Jissi tomorrow. This game, and I still gotta do extracurricular activities. I know. I mean, things can't just be changed. Oh, I already said that. Amicus flicks his tail in annoyance at me. People like. Yeah, it does. Like that's the thing with change. You have to do it slowly. You can't rush it. Like you have to. It sucks, but it's gradual. If you rush it in, people are gonna push against it. Listen, I agree with you. We've been trying to change the way we've treated our children for generations. My grandfather and father both worked towards this. What? Why do you have Snake Lord? Why do you have so many cats? They're adorable cats. I haven't seen the kittens. They're adorable cats, but there's so many. You have so many cats. Well, I hope as long as they all love you, I guess it doesn't matter. That's a lot of cats, though. Oh my gosh! I just want to hug all of them. They're so cute. I just want to hug all of them. They're so adorable. Well, while that's messed up and definitely wrong, I think the intelligence thing might be even worse. What intelligence thing? The grimace on Amicus' face tells me that he might already know the answer. The way you stunted intelligence in the children you uplifted? Oof. Amicus is silent for a moment. I can tell that of all this is making him very uncomfortable. I have to ask myself again how I got to this point, sitting on a sofa debating ethics with a prospective Emperor Wolf. He finally folds his arms and huffs. Again, I agree with you on all of this. I don't like the way we've treated our children. In the end, I truly feel that becoming a more compassionate, united empire will lead to a better outcome for everyone. It's going to take small steps, but understand that it's something I mean to fix. And stop saying you like I did it. I was born into this. I've come to realize how much of an open book Amicus is as a person, so I don't doubt his words. Well, as long as Cassius doesn't become emperor. Amicus snorts. Not a chance. Well, if he does, it sounds like he's going to reverse all of that. And I'm saying there's no chance of it. Wait, how much has Alex been telling you? It was a short conversation. I asked him about the Empire. Wait, what do you mean you're not like him? What do you mean you're not like the MC? Yeah, I get like that too. Well, there's one friend that I really like, but I've started being really harsh on him just because. That's a good way to be. That's a very good way to be. when you're giving people advice. But one thing, sometimes I hate to say it, but sometimes I think there are sometimes you do have to kind of be harsh with them. But for the most part, I try to give advice. There are once in a while I will be harsh with them, only if I've tried to do it the polite way and they don't listen. Then I kind of get a little nasty. I do kind of have a temper. I got a lot better with it thanks to medication and working a job that I have to keep my calm a lot. I didn't, but I don't want to get Alex in trouble in case he wasn't just supposed to tell me. Cassius seems like a terrible person, by the way, and I'm not just talking about his personality. He wants to keep people enslaved. It's complicated. He's just very traditional, but again, there's no chance. I saw at the wolf's overconfidence, but he does know his brother far better than I do. Well, I'm at least glad that I'm behind the right wolf and getting myself home. The right wolf? Yeah, I can't imagine being under your brother. Amicus glances at the plate he's been building with food. Speaking of, I'm going to bring this to Alex in the garden. Did you want to accompany me? I run a hand through my hair, feeling the grimness from 2 days of no shower. Griminess, sorry. Actually, can I use the shower while you're gone? I feel kind of gross. Oh yeah, sure. Just step in and it starts up. There's a screen on the wall that controls temperature. It has a color spectrum that you can drag a finger across. I'll figure it out. Right. Well, I should be back by the time you're finished. And with that, Amicus bounces his plate of food in his paws as he strides out of the room, leaving me to go into the bathroom. Oh yeah, definitely. Shouting does nothing. Oh, I do therapy too. I do therapy too. That's been helping. It's nice to talk to somebody. I have some, I love you guys, but I do have some issues that I wish to work on. But you guys are like therapy. You guys help so much, and I love doing these streams. The small, it doesn't matter who shows up. I really like doing these streams. They're very, very liberating. I quickly use the toilet again, suddenly glad that I don't have to use a public toilet like the ones I've seen drawings of in my Roman history books. The shower is easy enough to understand, and the water is immediately warm and pleasant, so I don't have to bother with the temperature. There are several glass bottles of soap, so I choose the one that smells the best and give myself a quick wash. When I'm done, I grab a towel off the wall and dry off before wrapping it around my waist. I think about putting my clothes back on, but the idea of stepping back into that underwear has me hesitating. Instead, I open the door and am greeted to the sight of Amicus sitting on the edge of the bed, looking off to the side upon his lap, holding a brush. His head snaps in my direction before he immediately averts his eyes. Sorry, I didn't mean to see. I thought you'd be dressed. Hey, it's fine. I've got the towel on. Slowly, Amicus turns his gaze back to me, eyes drifting down my torso before immediately snapping back up again. Oh, I thought you hated any sort of nudity. Not really, just the genitals. Even then, I don't hate it. It's just more private. Amicus seems to be staring at me, and I start to feel a little self-conscious. Is everything okay? Amicus looks away again. Sorry, I'm just not used to seeing you like that. I've only seen humans with clothing, so I just sort of imagined you'd always be that way. Well, my clothes are dirty, so I was gonna ask you about that. About maybe getting some clean ones? At least until you can get me that tailor. Oh, of course, Cobb, send us some robes from storage. Children's robes, please. Yes, Amicus. Thanks. Of course. I stand there awkwardly for another few seconds until Amicus seems to snap back to reality again. He holds up the brush. Anyway, I thought maybe you'd like to be groomed too. I feel it's only fair after what you did for me. Oh, well, it's only on my head. All the easier for me then. Amicus grins. Well, alright. I walk over to the bed and sit with my back to the wolf. Amicus adjusts his seating to face me more directly, then starts to run the brush gently through my hair. We sit in silence for a bit, and I start to enjoy the feeling of the brushing, especially the way the firm bristles run across my scalp, giving me shivers up and down my neck. Sorry for talking so much earlier. I'm not used to being able to talk to someone. The palace is a bit lonely, so having a friendly conversation with someone other than Calm is a bit of a novelty. Amicus chuckles. That was probably why I was having so much trouble focusing on my studies today. I was excited to come back home and speak with you. Hearing that makes me feel a little bad for the wolf. I suppose being the prospective emperor doesn't allow you to have many friends, and being such an empty palace definitely seems lonesome. I guess this is why Alex told me basically the same thing. You're fine, and I didn't mean to be too harsh earlier. I know it's not your fault. No, I think we're on the same page on that one. All the more reason to unite against Cassius. Ayo! As if he had forgotten something, Amicus' other paw comes around my side and on his palm I see 2 purple grapes. I managed to snatch a few of these off of Alexios' earring. He wasn't too happy about that. Want one? Seriously? I take one more out of being nice to Amicus than anything, but when I bite into it, I can't help but notice how juicy and sweet it is. You better not tell him I had a secret tail. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. I know. Like I said, this is not going to be going on for too much longer. Just getting to the end of the day, and we're gonna stop after that. I take one more out of being nice to Amicus than anything, but when I bite into it, I can't help but notice how juicy and sweet it is. Amicus talks to me with the grape in his mouth. I don't know why, but his grape earring always tastes the best. By the way, if you don't mind, I invited Alex to our outing tomorrow. Cassius is going to be away to do some speeches and is leaving Alex behind for once. Of course not. We got along really well. I lean my head back, allowing the wolf to continue the brushing. Your fur hair, you call it. It's not like a wolf's fur, but it's rather nice. I smile. Thank you, Amicus. If you'd like, I can do this for you every day. I feel that's fair. Oh, Amicus is being such a gentleman today. I have to admit that I really like this, so I accept. Yeah, sure, it feels really nice. I hear some thumping, so I imagine it's Amicus' tail wagging against the bed. Oh, yes. Oh. Oh, that's funny. It's funny what you just told me, Snake Lord. It's cute what this is happening right now. So, washing you, brushing you, and making you smell nice are all my duties? Well, that and accompanying me to important meetings and public outings, but all you do during those is stand there and look civilized. Yeah, that's what you all keep telling me. This all seems pretty easy. Though, there is one thing you can do for me before I go to bed. What? Well, a full body massage. Gabe, I was giving you praise, and you do this to me. I was giving you praise. Oh man, there's no sexual content yet in this game, and they're like, hey, and then Amicus is like, oh yeah, give me a full body massage. All right, you know what? It's okay. Well, let me make sure I have my my NSFW blocker ready in case something happens. I look over my shoulder at him. Or we could just stick with the other duties. I laugh, and Amicus' ears come back up. He continues to brush for a while longer before finally setting it aside. There, looks much better now. I gently run a hand over my hair, and I have to agree that it feels softer than it's ever been felt before. But anyway, Mark, I am looking forward to these months ahead with you, even though we start off a bit poorly. I look back at the wolf at his earnest but tentative smile. He's definitely a man of contradictions, rash half the time, but considerate most of the time. Amicus looked civilized yet dumb. I'm not sure what to make of him, but at this point I feel like I can at least trust him, and that's saying a lot after what he put me through. I smile back. Yeah, me too. Okay, never mind, it didn't happen. Okay, guys. Alright, we're gonna stop it here. Never mind about the massage. I was like, are we gonna get there already? Alright, guys. What did you think? I love this game. I really enjoyed this game. I'm really looking forward to playing more of this. This is so far I don't have any issues really with the game. I like everything that's happening. I don't really like Cassius right now. I'm hoping that he maybe gets some redeeming qualities to him, but right now he's a spoiled rich kid. Kato seems worrisome, but I think he's just trying to figure out what we really are. I'm loving Alex. Alex is really nice. I don't know. Alex feels like he's got more than meets the eye, but so far he's been very friendly to us. I know Hal, you come back and we're ending the stream now. I just finished the end of the day 2. And it's getting kind of late. We've been playing for a little bit over 2.5 hours. Well, anyway, I'm glad you stopped back by, and how. Well, guys, sad to say, but this is the end for now. Tomorrow I will try to get another stream going. Hopefully I can get something going. I'm going to try to finish Neko Jissi, the NSFW version. As I've said before, please feel free to give me recommendations for games you'd like to see me play. I did check your comment. I just renounced about it. You said I'm back. But anyway. Wait, Kato is a... Oh, after class. I'm sorry, I didn't see that one. Okay, I'll look into that. So after class, Paws and Steel. After class, Paws and Steels, and... Oh, there was one I definitely wanted to try called Bad Time Stories, because I saw Hookie play that, and that game doesn't even try to hide the sexual content. It's like, yeah, here's everything. Just take it all. And I was like, oh boy. Night in the Woods is a game I played on this channel previously, and then I stopped because I was a little worried about my voice acting. But you know what? I don't think I'd mind playing that game again. Also, especially with the fact that it is very unlikely we will get another game in that universe. I'm not going to really bring the conversation down. But if you're curious, look up the Night in the Woods creator, and you'll know why. But that's probably only going to be the only game in that said universe. But that game, yeah, I heard that game has a lot of really good real life stuff in it. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I will look into those games. Again, like I usually say, if you liked the video, feel free to hit that like button. Also, really would appreciate if you want to comment. It can even be a comment about a game you'd like to see me play, or it can be a comment about just what you enjoyed, what you thought could be better. And lastly, if you haven't subscribed before, please feel free to subscribe. It lets me know you like the content, and it lets me know to keep going. I'm going to keep going anyway, but it gives me more motivation. It gives me more incentive even. But anyway, this has been Fallen Wolf. You've been part of the Fallen Pack, and I'll see you next time. Bye.